Welcome back to the VEC. Today, I'm here with my good friend Lewis slash Dark Fuel.
Hello, hello. Honestly,
How are
it's
you
very
doing
exciting to
today?
be here. I'm doing pretty good. So, how are
Yeah,
we feeling
I
about the
think,
NewD game?
I feel pretty good. I've watched these guys before. I haven't watched Las Cabras, but in fact, as you probably remember, we've played them in the past actually, so we know a little bit of inside information, I guess. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good game. Both these teams, should be somewhat evenly matched. I think I'm gonna give it to NewD from what I've seen before, from them. Any thoughts on your side? I guess not. But see, this is the thoughts that he usually has as well when we're scrimming as well. It's incredible. But yeah, we're just waiting for the players to join into the lobby right now, and it appears that they're all here now. Yep, they are. So let's talk about the maps for a little bit as we see them coming up here. We see that sunset, and that's hold on, that's not the I don't think that's the right band's production. That is not the right maps. Well, that's fine. I have them noted down anyways. So Las Cabras started out by banning Icebox. NewD then banned Abyss. Las Cabras picked Haven, and NewD picked Attack on Haven. Then NewD picked Sunset, and Las Cabras picked Attack on Sunset. And I hope that it's on the screen now, and it is. There we go. Um, so yeah, I think Haven. I'm sure everyone's down to see some more Haven, as if we haven't had enough Haven already. But
Especially from the Lost Dynasty roster.
oh yeah, no, from everyone though. I feel like everyone's just playing Haven left and right. I mean, there's some reasons for it. People they don't really want to play like Ascend because it's like too basic, right? But
Or
Haven's kind of
Abyss.
this map. Yeah, because Abyss is too new, Ascend's too old, right? And Haven's kind of just right, Despite it having three sites, it's a map that feels very like evenly matched. Maybe not between attackers and defenders, but in terms of what teams can do, I feel like it's very much a neutral map, so it's kind of an easy pick, if you ask me.
Yeah, and for Sunset, I mean, some attacks are just wow, immaculate. Especially at that brutal base game that I casted. Wow, that was definitely something.
Yeah, Sunset, I'm not sure I've casted Sunset before, actually. Maybe once. I'm not sure, but definitely looking forward to today. As these teams, we've got some Ultimate League action, obviously, today. We're about to see some top-notch gameplay. Definitely looking forward to this. And for you, Lewis, I'm sure that you're about to see a big step up from the Rookie League that you've been casting.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm excited to see this NewD roster, especially Willy Waugh. He's been absolutely amazing on his role.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Last time I really just couldn't get his name out my mouth. It felt like him and Oxney were just putting up a show last time. I mean, I don't even really know what to say, but I do have to say it was kind of all of them. Like I remember all these names, right? It's not like I'm like just remembering two of their names. I remember all their names, seeing them in the server. And that kind of shows that they're a very well balanced roster with just some people that kind of stand out, but they're not carrying the team by themselves, right? So
Oh
it's
yeah,
good for them.
100%. They're all a very well-rounded team, and they can all play off each other incredibly well. They're definitely one of the strongest teams in this league.
Yeah, I mean, all these teams are super strong, as we've experienced firsthand playing in this league. But that's fine. What I think is interesting about NewD specifically is that they always pull out some interesting comps while not, trolling, right? Like they still have reasonable comps, but it's definitely some more interesting ones. For example, I believe last time that I casted this game, we saw Sorrow on like a deadlock or something, and he did incredibly well just then. And I'm really hoping that we can see similar things again today. Las Cabras, I'm not really sure what they've been picking. Haven't really casted one of their games, but it definitely gonna be an exciting game for sure, no doubt in my mind.
Oh, 100%. I mean, from the games that we've seen in the Ultimate League, wow, impeccable. Especially most of all of the what do you call it? mind blank. Most of all the strats, really. They've
Mm.
just been impeccable, and just the creativity from these teams have been immaculate.
Yeah, I do have to say, every time I watch the Ultimate League, I'm just amazed one more time because really it's not comparable with the Rookie and Advanced League at all. And there's so many cool strats that I just look at here and then I steal them from for our team. So you know, that's nice. But yeah, really, should be an exciting game, and I'm seeing that both teams have in fact agreed that they're ready. So we should be loading in very soon, which is exactly what's going on right now. So let's
What?
see the agent picks and probably get trolled by the teams again.
Oh, oh.
Yep, we are most definitely getting trolled again. Now, from the side of NewD, we're not getting trolled. In fact, they've locked in all their agents, and this is what I was talking about. Sorrow and the stat dog, this kind of double senti comp, it is maybe a little bit weird, right? Because you've got no real info apart from kind of the cipher, but no like Soba or Gecko or anything like that. So they're just hoping to lock down the sites and get some good lurks in and play slow on attack. And on the other side, this is nice. This is nice. We've got a neon comp where I'm assuming we'll see some very fast gameplay compared to the other side here.
Yeah, I really wonder if they're gonna try and adapt that early A aggression smoke that we always choose for over here in Lost Dynasty.
Yeah, I think it's something that's pretty standard, right? Especially with this neon comp, that's kind of where the idea comes from, to place a deep smoke towards A, and then just like back deep in A lobby, and then you just push A, and your enemies can't really do anything. They just have to like either give up the space and re-clear it, or they have to shoot you in the head very well. So I think this first round's immediately gonna set the scenes for how this attack off is gonna look, especially towards the A side. It's gonna be very interesting as we see a few players piled up there. We see Breaches holding a stun already. Itachi's got it locked and loaded, and we see that Silent Soul and Leo are ready to push A off this. And I believe the smoke that we're talking about is coming through.
Does look like it. Oh, but it is some mid aggression.
Yeah, and as we expected, it's a little bit more fast-paced from the defending side, but then the attackers, they just kind of poke in mid and then they want to fall back a bit, you know. They probably don't feel very comfortable being stared at by that Cypher camera that they've just taken out.
Does
And it
take
looks
one
like
mid, but
we're
yeah,
gonna end in a C-hit.
Breach stun coming out. Blind into backside. 2 kills
Ooh.
going the way.
Yeah,
Traded
Itachi,
out.
he didn't quite clear his corners there, so we go into 3v3 retake right now. As Las Cabras, they're grouping up, and Willy Wom, he's trying to get aggressive right now, and he might get the jump, but he's been blinded, and they're all grouped up,
One enemy remaining.
and it,
First round going to Los Cabras.
yeah, it almost worked out for him, but that Omen blind was perfect, close on CT there. It just blinds all the players, and then they're just sitting around like ants, really not even looking at Garage because they can't because they're blind, right? I mean, the exit was a good one, but first round going in Las Cabras' favor. Maybe not what we expected, but I mean, they're probably having a great time with this. And now for the next round, it looks like both teams are still setting up in similar fashions. Nothing crazy really happening. Here we've got a lurk towards A. Classic A push from the defending side. And just a little bit of fights taken in mid. Maybe a bit faster towards mid this time. Looking like a B hit actually. And that's exactly what we're gonna get.
I always love seeing these beauty players just always so aggressive and fast, but sometimes it could be their downfall.
I mean, yeah, they're on an eco here, so they won't mind. That's a nice shot by Max. So Las Cabras, they clean up. They get themselves their anti-eco win, and now is kind of when it gets a little bit more interesting, as we're gonna go into Las Cabras' bonus. And let's just see this again here. It was actually a pretty decent B-take, and I mean, something like this can easily work when you have the better guns. I think the Deadlock Net coming in there is a good addition, right? But they have too much trouble kind of flushing out that backside player, and then they just kind of, get annihilated because of the worst weaponry.
And it
So
does,
this,
seem like NewD are gonna try go for an A fake with the bomb more towards
yeah,
mid.
you're right. I mean, they face some resistance, but Las Cabras, they are actually opting for a mid push, and 3 of their members are already in window. Soru catches and Leo, and Wald, he's not having any of that. So, oh no, but Zin's heard the TP, right? So he doesn't expect Silent Soul in that position. Now he does fall back because they're reading a little bit of an A hit, and they are correct. In fact, this will be an A hit from the side of NewD. They're gonna try to convert cleanly. That's almost a kill onto Wald already. And they just wall off CT here.
Nez is on the incomplete other side of the map. Are they gonna try and stall for him to get across? He has been their star
Yeah.
player with 4 kills.
Yeah, and the retake seems to be coming through. The worst weaponry, not really expected to get much. 2 players, 1 HP in heaven. That's a good stun though.
Going down to Zin.
Wow.
And NewD getting their first round.
Yeah, they clean up. It's a flawless round for them. It was never really in doubt. I feel like they had a good read, seeing that A side is weak. Leaving the mid push just to kind of look stupid from the other side, and then they just completely annihilate the retake. I mean, there was just not enough HP, not enough weaponry from the side of Las Cabras. So now is when it really gets interesting, right? When we're in the 4th round, both teams are gonna have these weapons.
Yep. And Los Cabras seem to just go for standard default toward A. Doesn't see anything. And NewD just trying to work up mid here.
Yeah, again, they've done this 3 out of 4 times now. And the only time it's been contested is when they weren't actually there. So they got a good read on it, and that's a good kill by Leo, though.
They do know where the spike is located.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's gonna, like, shift around here a little bit, but they've taken out Oxney. That's the controller player. That's the smoke's gone for NewD, and that's a massive loss when you're attacking like this, which is why you're gonna see them pivot to maybe areas that don't need a smoke as much, just like Garage, which they're heading into right now.
Unfortunately, Los Cabras aren't really in a position to get a pick from that trip.
Yeah, they're not gonna get it now. Nez?
Really well going down.
Right. Yeah, Nez gets his despite being blinded there. But they're still trying to hit the side. Zin gets one, but I don't know if they know about the player towards Plat. They don't, as Nez, he gets a 3k for himself. And that's gonna be a good performance from him and NewD. They maybe look a little bit lost. Like, you see it again here, but after like the take wasn't even a bad one. I think the utility was good, but without their smokes player, they're just kind of lost. They need to just flood out like ants, and they can't really get any of those kills. So they have to be maybe a bit more careful. Maybe explore some more options for space around the extremities rather than mid. Because mid hasn't been working, and they're piled up towards A a little bit more this time.
And it does seem like Los Cabras are opting to put Silent Soul on the op on C site.
Yeah, maybe they're reading that from this mid. They've seen A not work, so they might go to C. That's why they've probably got this read. And the problem is that, again, Oxney is there, so if he gets caught out by that op, we're gonna have a very similar situation to last round.
It just barely misses Oxney.
Ooh. Yeah, it was a little bit too close for comfort.
Smoke is coming out onto Plat.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful stun as Leo and Wad, they double peek to get both the short players, and that's just completely annihilated all plans from NewD for what they were gonna do in this round.
Does he know? Itachi getting the kill onto Zen.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, you might even want to save. I mean, they do kind of have an opening onto A side. It's looking unlikely though, so let's see if they're gonna commit.
It looks like they are.
30 seconds left.
And break the dart.
Yeah, this wall is actually helping them.
Spike planted.
Fortunately, no damage coming out from the spam.
Yeah, but Leo, he's just out there. Wow, Leo's feeling confident. I mean,
Wow, just wow.
yeah,
If you're
this is
NewD,
something we weren't expecting, right?
ooh, 100%. I was
Like,
in full support of NewD.
We go easy on them.
yeah, that's Cabras. They're on the weak defending side, right? And that's prompted NewD to immediately call a timeout after just 5 rounds in. They just don't want to let this momentum keep going in Las Cabras' favor. So they've decided to call a little bit of a tactical TO here. They definitely need to talk about how they can take space, right? Because you do have to give it to Las Cabras. That was a beautiful mid-round play of stunning short with basically no info and then double peeking it. That's an amazing play and they get rewarded for it. But NewD, they seem a little bit slow in how they're taking the space and they don't seem very confident. So maybe they want to do a fast hit to kind of regain their confidence or something like that, or maybe just take space differently with different pieces of utility. We don't know what's going on in their call right now, but they've definitely got things to talk about.
Yeah, and as we have seen, there were pings coming out from B and C, so they may be trying to look for crunch toward mid, possibly, as they know that no one has really been contesting C other than Oxney.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, you're right, and I'm interested to see this defending setup now. It seems they have also been using this timeout very well. That's an interesting trip that we see placed here. But NewD, maybe they heard me in the casting position and decide to actually just do a fast A here. Nope, they're triple holding sewers.
Well,
Well,
certainly something, but it seems like Los Cabras aren't giving them what they wanted.
yeah, there's actually no one short because, as we said, Las Cabras, they're actually more towards C on the heavy side here, and it's actually just Sova holding this cross. But the thing is, as long as he doesn't get contested, he'll have all this information, but he's about to face a challenge. Oh, but he's just gonna wait. I mean, he's gonna hear the steps now, but
He's gonna give the call, allowing Silent Soul to rotate over very quickly with the Neon Sprint.
yeah, they've just fallen offside there, not having any of this. They don't want to give any of their weapons away. And that's an ult committed.
Doesn't get the kill onto Zen though. 45 HP.
Yeah, he's just splitting the water there.
Spike planted.
And now they're looking for this retake, and 2 of the players are very low already here.
Nez creeping his way into heaven. Will they know? Sorrow does get the tag, 49 HP. Line coming
Yeah,
out
and
from
oh, he's
Oxney.
got... Oh, but it looks like Sorrow, he wants to invest the ult of his own. Even though this... And they've actually turned it around. And Sorrow, they're dead. They're dead. The last one's a new deadlock ult. But good job. And that's definitely something we didn't expect. The people were low from NewD's side. I mean, we can see it again, right? This retake, it looks like it's completely fine, right? You see the ops handed over to Wald so that Neon can just kind of slide in. But somehow everything just falls apart immediately as Sorrow smartly decides to immediately invest the deadlock ult and just annihilates the retake. I don't know how they've done that.
Neither do I, but it seems like they're just gonna go for their standard A hit. Fast, pushing Silent Soul off that line. Zin just walking out. Doesn't see anyone with his cam. Exec is coming out. Willy Wall getting the first pick onto Silent Soul. Unfortunately, no kills coming out.
Shot down.
Oh, but Leo just barely getting past in. He's gonna retreat back into sewer.
Yeah, they find themselves in a very weird position right now as Leo is on an island and
No charges.
he gets caught out just now.
Sound sensor
Spike
up.
does go down,
And-
but it's 4v2.
Sound sensor up.
And
Willy Wall. Fortunately, solo swinging.
oh, that's a reshield committed. but it's
reverse
counter
refill.
ulted immediately. Yeah, this counter ult just completely destroyed all possibilities of this retake coming through. Surely, Sorrow, don't whiff. Max backs him up, and then Zin cleans it up as he gets Itachi, and you know, that was an amazing reaction with that breach back. And NewD, they're finally looking like their former self, really bringing back those rounds after the timeout, and now they're looking to equalize here,
Spike planted.
and they'll get a good chance as Las Cabras' money situation is really not looking that good. But I really like the idea here with the deadlock sensor, so they can't jump out of heaven and get stunned. Right, I think that's a cool idea. That's definitely why they've been picking this deadlock, these walls, these sensors, and postman specifically, and their postman has been really strong, so.
Yeah. And wow, just this early aggression just from two players, Leo and Silent Soul, and they're already up all the way from A long, just delaying NewD.
Yeah, and NewD, they seem somewhat aware, but I don't think they're going to be expecting exactly what's going on here on long. And if they venture too far, they might just find Silent Soul and then not realize that Leo's also here. That is if they can even get past us, but that's so aware!
Blind. Silent Soul doesn't
What?
want.
Spike down.
He
A.
going
Spike
full
drop.
blind Silent Soul. I mean, he's gotta be happy with that, but that awareness from NewD is amazing to aftershock that close corner with barely any info. Now Wald, he's gotten a good pick, maybe a little bit of an overstep from Willy Wah, making this retake somewhat possible, but Itachi, he is on 1 HP, and they've got no ults to really do this, and the deadlock setup again is just coming out, so they've basically got a full Sentinel setup on the side that Las Cabras want to retake.
Nice in backside. Tachi does get sprayed down. Nice getting the pick onto
One
Zin.
enemy remaining.
And
Last
another onto
player
Sorrow.
standing.
1v1. Wald is
Ooh,
unfortunately gonna go down to Max whilst inside the grav net, and wow.
yeah, you see that graph now just completely disrupting the retake again, and this deadlock is having so much value. I mean, it's working out just like NewD intended, and they've equalized finally from 4-1 down, and now they're looking to speed up their momentum. So interested in if I'll see if they want to call a TO maybe, because right now it's not looking too good for them. Now they have another rifle round, and it's not just rifle round. There's also an operator on Silent Soul once again.
Is he gonna get the first pick onto Zin though? No, Zin backing off.
Ooh, but he might venture a little bit too far, and has almost gets someone through the smoke just there on C long. So a lot of battles kind of happening at once, but Cypher Cage comes out.
Oxney is gonna take a little bit of damage from the random spray through the smoke on C.
Yeah, and
Fortunately,
it appears the same as happened to Zen as well. So they're just kind of regrouping, maybe going back to their familiar mid. And there are still players towards C, so I'm assuming this is going to be a C split. But they've actually got this read completely
is-
wrong because there's 3 people here.
Wald is ready here. Zin
Yeah,
just
but
watching him. He's gonna TP out. Unfortunately, gonna go down to Zin.
yeah, that was a little bit mistimed.
Cypher ult is gonna come through.
Spike planted.
Willy Wall posted up on this
Itachi.
line. Oh, and Silent Soul. He hits that?
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't really matter though, unfortunately, as it's 2v5, the health is low, they're walled off, so they're
They
likely just
are.
gonna try and save this up.
Yeah. Which, wow. NewD. As I said before, these guys are such a phenomenal team. Get them just rolling, and wow, I think they're just an unstoppable force.
Yeah, really, I mean, they got a little bit of a bad streak, right? But then they called the TO, bounced back
Leo,
immediately, and
Leo, Leo, please look to your right.
oh
Oh,
my god.
Oxney, you had prime potential for the knife. Silent Soul. Oh, just barely gets out with his life.
Yeah, the important thing is that that means that the op has actually survived somehow into this well, what's probably just gonna be a half buy, right? And
He is gonna give it to Wald. So he can just play his overdrive.
Yeah, and I mean, this up, honestly, usually it's a saving grace to be saving an up like that, but I don't think it's even had that much value really for them. They haven't really gotten any early picks with it, and this time they won't either because it looks like a full A rush from NewD and the up's on the complete other side of the map.
No, and
Oh,
Wald hasn't even had the call to rotate yet. Willy while going
now he finally
down.
has. Yeah, and see, NewD, they've gone to A and they've realized that there's 1, 2, 3 people there, including a Neonaut, so they were having none of that, but now they're gonna run directly into this op on C side.
Wald does just barely miss, forcing out the tether.
Yeah,
Oxney on site,
they might not
swinging
expect Oxney so
behind.
close.
Wald going down. Silent Soul getting the pick with the judge.
Yeah, that was all the
Itachi.
way over on A.
Silent Soul is now finally coming over for the retake. Looks like they're just gonna wait. So the ult
Yeah, and
is gonna get popped.
they were wanting to
Nez.
bait this out. You see them tapping the spike.
Nez.
Naz! He's gotten
Wow.
both of them, and that's a beautiful position played by him as Las Cabras, they finally win their round back and equalize it one more time.
As well as
I
saving
mean,
the up once again.
yeah. I'm still gonna kind of stand by this. The up hasn't really had too much value, right? Like, they keep putting it on C, but I think the right spot would be maybe A long, holding that cross when the Cypher isn't there, when it's a more fast-paced A rush, then you want to have an up there to just catch out the first player and immediately stop their push. But it's gonna... Wow. Well, the
That's
ops on C one more time, and one more time it doesn't get any action as the B player in Leo has been taken out, and they're just going onto the site. Now that's a good aftershock by Itachi, trying to deny the plans.
Willy Wah fighting a battle of his own, getting him blinded. Nez.
Oh, it's a good flash.
And Silent Soul does get the pick. They didn't know about the
Yeah,
sensor.
the Deadlock sensor again having pretty good value on this post plant. Unfortunately,
Enemy remaining.
hold on, they've actually somehow turned this around, and it's a 2v1 and Itachi's won.
I don't think there's enough time for the spike and to kill these guys both at the same time.
Oh, you almost got spited just there, as Itachi was really making it look possible for a second. But I mean, that was very interesting because you see, Las Cabras, they actually got the advantage on the retake, but then NewD just traded 3 for 1 out of nowhere, just peeking out of B main, and then suddenly it's 2v1, and you know, Itachi's 1 HP, you got spammed through a smoke earlier. So, you know,
If you're
NewD, they feel comfortable, right? Look at their ults, they've got a breach load as well. Las Cabras.
are in a little bit of a broken buy. Walled on the judge, posted up outside. Just sat
And
waiting.
that's... See, that looks... Net's gone backside, which... That is a cool lineup, Sorrow, but unfortunately you're not hitting this side, so I don't know what exactly that was for. Maybe just to get some info, but they're not going to get any info because the 2 players that are here on A, they're set up in a little bit of a crossfire towards short here, and they're actually not really giving any attention to long. You see Leo starting to worry about it, which is why they're gonna maybe... Oh, they've read this perfectly. They've got 3 people here.
What a brilliant freeze. Willy Wall going down. Sorrow getting the trade. Sorrow getting another. Itachi swinging. Leo.
He's gotten one with this shock dart.
Becoming Robin Hood.
Yeah, and this retake.
Oh, but Sin! Oh,
How's he there?
Oh, but Oxley's just on the other side of the site. He's just on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and they have to now spend time clearing us in because, well, as I say that, he gets cleared out immediately. But
he does
that
get
was
a
an amazing lurk.
Now forced to be on 10 HP.
Yeah, they just got to play along here.
Great. Do you
Yeah,
have the depth
they're
sensor
they're
for
I mean
long?
the flanks wall off. They've got a sensor so that if they do try to get push, then it's not really gonna work, right? The stun does come through, but end of the day, there's still some util to kind of stall this. But
Recon Dark does come through, instantly get broken.
yeah, they can't really get on this because of that one way. It's so oppressive, and he's just trying to
Wait.
stick it.
It's just a touchy. 10 HP versus 300. Can he get this? It's not looking likely. No,
Yeah,
we'll
it's gonna need a
7th round.
miracle. Yep, that's just gonna be the 7th round, and I do have to say, that round was just all up to Zin, who somehow managed to lurk so hard that even the casters that can see the mini-map didn't realize that he was lurking. So, that's pretty impressive, I would say. But I'm sure we're gonna see some even more impressive gameplay right after this break. And welcome back to half two of the first map of Las Cabras versus NewD. In the first half, we saw NewD take a small advantage after going down early. They end the half 7-5. And now they're on the defense half where they've got two centis, so they're probably comfortable.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, you guys didn't see it, but during the halftime, LC, they were just boogieing outside of A.
I'm out of here.
They were doing some team bonding just then.
Yep, and wow,
And
Silence so already so far up in Garage.
yeah, but he's just gonna go away. And the thing is that there's actually no real information from the defense side here. There's no camera or anything. So they've placed a live smoke on to see And
Oh, Willy Wah, he's such an impressive angle. Will they know about him though?
yeah,
Seems like
they just
they
have
have
to clear
some
this out.
idea. They have some idea. The stun coming out. Unfortunately, does not get one. Forcing rotates to come out.
Yeah, that's a good stun, and they're just gonna end A here. The problem is that there's actually 2.5 players here,
Max
and
going down.
Sorrow,
Sorrow getting the trade.
yeah,
Tachi instantly getting it back. 2v4.
yeah,
No.
so, you know, that didn't really go too well with the A-hold, and Zin's gonna be
No.
taken out as well, and there's just one more player remaining, which is Oxney. We've seen him be the hero before, so I believe.
Yeah, if you're Oxney, you're mostly gonna try and want to die to the spike here. Maybe get.
Nah, you can just save that classic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be dying to the spike here, to get that economy up.
Maybe trying to get 1 or 2 picks, if possible.
Yeah, but it looks like LC aren't really too keen on, you know, exiting the site as they decide to push. And Oxney does go down to Itachi, so that's an extra ult orb for him, and I don't even really think that Leo minds dying there because he gets another ult orb as well. And that's 2 ult orbs for the initiators, so we see it again here. It's a pretty good reaction, right? Of getting that pick on long, and that's just great entry, and we see how this Neon's really working out so well for them on this attacking side. I was a little bit skeptical on the defending side if they maybe played it properly. I wasn't seeing enough A pressure on long there, but on this attack half, there's no doubt that they know exactly how to play this.
And NewD just all stacked towards C with Sorrow just sat, waiting patiently to see if Silent Soul is going to come and try and break this trip. It doesn't seem like it. Just barely dodges the line of sight of the Outlaw.
Yeah, and you know, I see Nez here, and he's lurking up C long, and he might think that he has a clear
Nez!
path, and he's about
Nez!
to find out
Oh
that there's
my!
way more than just one player here, as the entirety of NewD pop out and just obliterate Nez, and LC probably have got a pretty good idea of what side is clear, and that's a pretty cool reaction from Silent Soul, getting another pick deep in spawn, and obviously this retake, despite it being a 3v4 only, doesn't really look very likely.
And
Leo, if he does get
course,
isolated, which he has, and hold on for a second, this flank now hasn't gone noticed either because they're too worried about the CT players. So Silent Soul is
Silent
about to be
Soul,
taken out as well. Oxney gets him, and now they're just
Tachi,
squeezing onto the side.
it's just walled.
And,
In heaven, can he stop this? Sorrow getting
you know,
blind, Jin isn't. He does get the one.
but
Jin.
Zin gets it, and I believe he has this time as well. What a retake! That's such an unfortunate timing. For Max right there, he was holding that flank all round, but then because there was so much pressure being applied CT, he had to look away and stun CT, right? And you see here how Silent Soul just cannot know about the flank, and then they just completely squeeze onto the side, and that means that they've just thriftied their way to an 8th round,
Thanks.
and
And a
that's
full
gonna be
buy.
demoralizing. Yeah, they do full buy here. I like this. I don't like just kind of bonusing or saving after these like thrifties. It never really works out. You often just get thriftied back, right? So they're not dealing with that. They want to go for full Vandals, and Silent Soul, he wants to go in there. Unfortunately, there's a trip in his way, and one of his teammates has already been taken out, and another one down to 50 HP, so they're just gonna pivot to Garage here.
Jin is
And
gonna get the first pick. Willy Wong
1,
getting two.
2!
Third coming out from Max. And now
Yeah.
it's just Nez, which unfortunately goes down to Oxney. Wow.
Yeah, you saw Willy Waw, he was feeling himself there. You know, he was screaming in that VC for Breach flash into Garage because he heard all those steps. And yeah.
Now we are gonna get our first full buy of this half. And LC looks like they're just gonna go for another B hit. Possibly just gonna try and break this trip, which unfortunately for them, Sin isn't going to be there to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, Leo, he gets discouraged by those early spam bullets, so I mean, he probably knows that it's a mid push, but he just doesn't know the extent of it.
Willy
And
Wall.
Willy was caught on silence soul, and he might get a Tachi as well if he oversteps.
And Leo is
And-
2 HP.
Yeah, and
Max.
Max has gotten a Tachi, but then he gets traded out by Wall, so it's a 3v3, but it doesn't really seem very even when Leo has 2 HP to his name. Now, they will be met by a somewhat open A side, I believe. Yeah, the read comes in a little bit too late, so they might run into some deadlock sensors, but that's about it. As
Yep.
the site will be theirs. And you see, if you take a look at the minimap here, you see that Zin, he's on another lurk. Now, he has to break that Cypher trip, so he doesn't then just decides to regroup with his team, just, you know, apply more pressure on the flank, as we
Yeah.
immediately see Nez worrying about it. But now we're getting ready for the retake.
They do now have to just constantly worry about if there is someone on the flank. Sin tossing his cage. They now know no one's there. Oh,
Leo, he
free
gets
fire.
one. What a beautiful
Oro
shot there from
just
Flower.
dropping. Leo going down, and that's NewD.
The retake is so good from NewD. They have more than enough time for this as well. And I don't know how they keep doing this. Every time I feel like these guys, you know, they might be kind of down on that retake. It's not gonna work. They just somehow pull a retake out of nowhere. And they get a 10th. So that's looking good for them. And
Just NewD's comp is just so defender-sided, and getting so many rounds on attack. It's not looking good for LC.
yeah, they did a really good job there. And I mean, the thing is that the retakes should be the weak part of this comp with the 2 Sentinels, right? But they've done so well on it. And maybe LC, maybe they think that the retakes shouldn't be that good either, so they decided to rush C and test if the C retake is just as good as the A retake.
Max is gonna get put down to 54 HP.
Yeah, you see Wald here, he's worried about this flank despite the trip. I'd really love to see like a little bit of a relurk here.
Silent
Yeah, it's Hachi.
Oh, does connect on the headshot. Does get blinded, forcing him off the site, but not quite. Yeah, he's looking for one more. Doesn't take down Willy Wah.
Yeah, but look at the minimap. Look at the minimap. Wald is
Oh.
lurked up into garage,
Oh.
and he might
he
be
takes
able
the
to stop
preemptive
all of this.
shot.
He's been spotted
He
out.
gets
He
two.
still gets 2. Willy Wah and Sobo full, and he spams on the spike. And the Sobo will do the rest of it. Max, he almost gets a few there, but it's not enough. And yeah, maybe LC were right. In fact, the C retake is maybe the weakness of this NewD side. So now NewD surely have to maybe adapt, play a little bit more heavy towards C, have a little bit of a faster retake, because C is harder to retake than A, and they don't really have the tools to kind of retake this. They don't have that Sova Dart, they only have the Deadlock Net and the Breach utility, right? So they're lacking some key utility, and I believe we're gonna see another C split this round. Basically just looking at what worked last round. But there's a gap in that smoke.
Now Silent Soul coming
Ooh.
through.
He's
Space
found the trip.
Fortunately, only very minimal damage.
Yeah, but they were hoping for this to be way quicker, as Oxney gets the space to get one.
They know Zin's here, getting the wall bang.
And Nez, Sorrow, he could actually have a timing if he catches a good one here. But they're just gonna take some extra time, clearing the garage loud, playing this safely. Now, it is a 3v4. However, all the players, well, not all the players, but some of the players are low on LC's side. But in a 2v4, really, and no Max is low as well, it looks like it's just gonna have to be that save. Unless Willy Wah can do that.
Itachi is holding out his ult.
Oh my god.
It does get the stun.
Yeah, he's gonna have to
Willy
save
Wah.
this, but what a smart idea that was by Max. I love that idea to just like shift up after the stun. You know they're gonna be stunned, but they're not hearing any steps, so they're not expecting this push. And you see how Nez was actually just looking at a wall completely. Maybe a little bit of a whiff there from Max, unfortunately, but that could have worked out big time for them. As NewD, they actually decide to call their next timeout right now. And they've been very good with these timeouts. Like they call these timeouts when their enemies start kind of winning rounds, and then they stop that momentum. They talk about what's been going wrong, and they've used it very effectively the first time. So I'm assuming they're gonna do the same right here as well.
Yeah, they have realized that their C site is a little bit weaker, so they might decide to put a little bit more people toward that C. And with these pings coming out, it is gonna seem like LC are gonna try go for a B hit.
Yeah. The problem with this is that on A, the retake has been working well for NewD, and on C, they might stack some players because it hasn't been working well. So if LC really do decide to hit B, they're gonna get crunched by a lot of players playing in those links immediately, right? Because there's gonna be at least one in either link, I feel like.
Careful there.
So they have to be careful. If they're gonna hit B like we're expecting here, I would love to see a push, you know, into A specifically, because I feel like a C stack is kind of readable here, and it's kind of what we're looking at. We have this breach actually leaning towards A now, but they have put the Omen and the Cypher to kind of stall on C. This is good. They've got the Trips to stall, and they've also got the Paranoia and Silent Soul. I think he's just looking to tap the spike and then leave. Yeah. That's why you give the duelist the spike, to tap, and you see immediately the A players get drawn back, apart from Sorrow, who's still taking a fight, and he's gonna find out. And what LC don't know is that there's actually another one here in Willy Wah. The Breachel's gonna secure the side for sure. What a messy round. Good reads from both sides coming through. And Silent Soul is looking to plant in the open position to make this take easier.
Sorrow does take a little bit of damage.
Yeah, but look at the ults. And look at Oxney, but he's gonna get caught out, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Silent Soul. So close. Getting one. They don't know that Zane is sat back in main. They think he's in the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, that is a weird smoke. Can't even really blame them, right? And I feel like that retake maybe goes their way with better weaponry. As how many times do I have to say this? But all of those Cabras are low again, and we see it again in the replay. It was a good post plant defense. As Silent Soul gets aggressive towards CT, there's a fight happening on the flank, and it's very well coordinated. So that's definitely good for LC. NewD, they've now got a little bit of a better buy finally, and they've actually afforded an op as well for Willy Wah and rifles all the way around.
Yep, Willy Watt is gonna get put on this line. Fortunately, he has not seen anyone yet, but I assume he is just gonna sit and wait very patiently.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you see LC working up into Garage one more time. Silent Soul, he's done this so often, and Sin, he's tired of having seen this so often. Unfortunately, he gets stunned. Sorrow's got his trade, and he gets it with the superior gun as well. Now, a little bit of extra damage onto Sorrow, so I guess LC kind of come on top here. He misses that op shot.
Okay, he's gonna give the call. Does get blinded, forced to drop.
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time holding this on his own with an AWP, but they've decided to flood retake this. They've invested Breachild, and now they're gonna run back, surely. That's an amazing kill by Nazdo, catching out Oxney. And maybe they don't actually have to rotate, because
His body.
this is some huge mind games going on, because NewD, because LC think that NewD think that they're rotating back, but actually Sorrow's holding the flank, so they know they're still all A, and they're actually about to get crunched if Leo takes his line, takes his aim off this line. He might get punished. Sorrow, he only gets one, but the time's so low now, and Walt gets caught out as well. It's a 3k from Max. It's beautiful mind games. Sorrow holding down that flank all round, making sure that they can't rotate. is such a huge asset because it means you can just stack A, and when they do re-hit A, you catch a perfect timing and stab them in the back. It's beautifully
Yeah,
played by Sorrow.
I'm just thinking, if Oxley's
Last
body
player standing.
wasn't on top of the box, Nez could have gotten his ult off as he was jumping, trying to go for it, and
Oh
it just
yeah,
couldn't connect. I wonder how that
yeah,
round could have played out if
yeah.
he
Because
could have
Sorrow
gotten
gets
it.
spotted then, right?
Yeah, and
And
it
they
would have
might
forced them
decide
off.
to re-clear Sorrow. But they don't seem to be shying away from A. Now, this time it's actually maybe a little bit of a mistake because you have the Cypher here and they don't seem to care. They're just gonna take the side anyways because they have a Neo.
Yep, and forced once again to the retake. Willywell still
Ooh,
not
Sin.
leaving C.
Sin's been expecting this plant in the open position, so he was trying to spam it. He almost gets him, and that's a deadlock ult invested early. It's gotten Silent Soul. He gets broken free, but he will get killed by Sin now. It's some good util in response from the attacking side, but NewD, they just mow down LC, and it looks like they're gonna go to match point as Max gets another one, and it's only Leo left in a 1v5, and it will not happen for him. There's only one more round separating NewD and the win of Haven after a little bit of a BM just coming through there.
Yes,
Um,
so a little bit uncalled for, but
he's feeling himself.
you know, as we've seen here in the Ultimate League, there is a little bit of BM and a little bit of banter between these teams. So
That's what makes it interesting.
yeah, I mean, in the Rookie League, you know, you just get these interesting comps, which,
Yeah, every league has their own kind of quirks, right?
well, I haven't really seen much from the Advanced League. Not to put shame on them,
Hey, we
but
don't discriminate. They've got interesting strats for sure, and
Go, go, go.
an interesting strat maybe from the Ultimate League as Silasol once again just walks into Garage completely by himself, and finally he gets punished for it. Max wallbangs him, and Willy Wah in the meantime has caught out the Sea Lurk in the form of Nez, and yeah, I don't think that Dust Cabras are gonna feel very comfortable,
Spike down.
Oxley is gonna
especially
get the
not with
pick.
Oxy
Wall
being
getting
back.
Last player
one.
standing.
And now it is
Yeah, and
just
Oxy.
walled. He does hear Zin, unfortunately cannot get the pick, and that is the win for NewD.
Yeah, let's see this one more time. I mean, you see how Silent Soul finally gets punished for all this aggression in Garage in the very
Spike
last
down,
round of the game, very poetically,
Last player
and then
standing.
Oxney just it's a good push from him, good awareness, and yeah, that sums up a very good first game. I would say they did. NewD did kind of what we expected from them. They had a rough start, but then they did well, and yeah, they just closed it out well. Never really seemed like that they were really nervous or bothered. They used their TOs in good situations, and I'm sure we'll see more of those similar things just after the break. We're not.